first, news with Steve McMurray and meteorologist Eric Gage.
And excuse me, I have to clear my throat a little bit. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I'm Steve McMurray in for Gary, this first newscast for us in 2026.
Yeah, welcome to the new year, and we're treated to some more snow again.
Yeah, so new year, same thing, right?
Same stuff. Yeah, the winter still goes on here in central New York. A look at the radar right now, we'll see where that snow is heading. And today, unlike at least previous days where we've had some of that snow mainly shift north, today that lake effect is continuing south. We're taking a look at the Yorkville Battery live radar right now. Here's that snowfall. We zoom in right here. That snow is slowly starting to creep south a little bit. This will start to impact both initially northwestern Oneida County and then eventually shifting down into the Mohawk Valley as we head into the later hours today. In the meantime, how intense was the lake effect snow around Tug Hill earlier this morning? Well, here's a look at our camera, or the Mesnet camera, in Redfield. We actually have a time lapse in our weather center. I can show you behind us later on the newscast here. We can progressively see this camera just fill up with snow to the point where, of course, you can't even see the snow outside right now. So, again, there's a lot of snow up in Tug Hill right now. Of course, a lot of snow lovers up there definitely enjoying that. But either way, roadways generally clear this morning. A few snowy spots, though. Temperatures are very cold. At least the wind chill is very cold. Still in the single digits early this morning. 5 wind chill in Rome, 2 in Hamilton. And today's highs will be climbing into the 20s. Obviously, wind chill's a little cooler than that. We'll have a look at the snowfall forecast for today and what you can expect heading into the weekend straight ahead. Steve?
All right, Eric, thanks. And don't forget, the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away. Well, a Morris man has been
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back to Sunrise on this Friday. Welcome to the new year, everybody. And today we're treated to some more snowfall. In fact, we'll take a look at what you can expect quickly in your forecast in a minute as you head outside today. First off, temperature 13 degrees at Griffiths in Rome with some light snow showers. The snow somewhat sandy in consistency. That's to be expected with temperatures this cool in the morning. Once we get a more saturated layer in the atmosphere, the snowflakes have become a little bit more characteristic for typical lake effect events. Either way, a bit breezy, 5 miles an hour. Feels like 5 degrees outside this morning. And as you can see here in the Mohawk Valley, roads generally clear. Yes, a few snowy spots here and there in the main roads. Some of them are still snow covered, but more importantly, as you head up north, that's where a lot of that intense snow has already fallen and is slowly shifting its way south. Osceola up there, you can see barely the fence surrounding the weather station at this point. Of course, Redfield is completely buried in that snow. Roadways, as I mentioned, still a few minor slowdowns, some outlying roads, but if you just budget maybe a couple extra minutes heading out to work today, just drive a little bit slower, you should have really no issues in your morning commute. Maybe a little different as you head toward the evening commute. We'll dive into that lake effect snow forecast coming up in a couple of minutes. Steve?
All right, thanks a lot, Eric. And the snowmobilers will be happy. In fact,
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to 2026. And a pretty common tradition here, at least this winter time, is lake effect snow. And Mother Nature decides, well, why not more lake effect snow? So some of you might be ecstatic. A lot of snow lovers, including businesses that rely on snowfall, especially up north. This has been a huge blessing. But of course, you know, a lot of you not a big fan of snow. Either way, regardless, Mother Nature has no favorites. We're going to see some of that snow creeping down into the Mohawk Valley today. A live look at downtown Utica. A pretty quiet start this morning. A few light flurries falling here and there from the bottom edge of this snow band, and it's currently still at least slamming sections of Oswego County and Tug Hill. It is expected to slowly sweep its way south. You can see that general trend in the southward direction here. And there's a couple factors when we do these lake effect snow forecasts. And one of them is the fact that we take a look at the upper air, both the winds, the moisture content here. And you notice here we have a general trend of a multi-lake connection, and still just pretty consistent winds both way up in the sky and near the surface. So we're still generally thinking that this snow is going to move into the Mohawk Valley and produce consistent, steady snow. In fact, some spots, heavy snow, especially the farther west you go in Oneida County. Either way, this snow will continue overnight and gradually fade away early Saturday morning with a very light clipper system producing some light snow throughout the weekend. This is not expected to be that intense or produce any major accumulations. I'll show that snowfall map along with, of course, our lake effect snow map here in a second. First, I want to time this out. So you can see here, by 11 a.m., that snow band is already in the Mohawk Valley. I wouldn't say intense snow, but still it's enough to likely coat a lot of the roads here. It starts to intensify between 5:30 and 6 o'clock tonight and still remaining generally over the Mohawk Valley, or in fact just north of the New York State Thruway. Then it will fade away a little bit. Of course, the multi-lake connection kind of fizzles out there, and so we begin to quiet down a little bit. Then Saturday evening, looking mainly quiet. Then overnight, Saturday into Sunday, we've got a weak clipper system producing some light snow. But before that, here's that snowfall forecast. As you can see here, generally speaking, a lot of this is falling mainly in the western portions of Oneida County. Of course, a huge contrast out Utica in the 5 to 10 inch range. Same thing for Rome on the fringe of it. Of course, Camden just around that 15+ inch range there too. And of course, following that, we're going to see some more light snow heading into Sunday, which you can see here, not a whole lot of major accumulations here across the Mohawk Valley, traced to maybe 2 or 3 inches. Your 7-day forecast. Following this weekend, of course, snowy conditions there. We do cool down Monday with some warmer temperatures as we head into the mid-30s. We'll be right back.
Yeah, good morning once again. Thank you for joining us this half hour. I'm Steve McMurray in for Gary today. We're going to start this half hour with a check, the Storm Tracker 2 forecast. It's snowing again for folks, especially north of us, but everybody's going to get to take part in the fun later today. Let's get a first check of the forecast. Eric, good morning and Happy New Year.
Good morning, Steve. Yes, Happy New Year, Steve, and Happy New Year to all you tuning in this morning. And yes, how about that? Some more snow we're dealing with today. Let's take a look at the radar right now and see how it's shaping up. Now, yes, Tug Hill got slammed last night with some heavy snow, and some of that snow is creeping south. Now, I'm not forecasting complete heavy snow across the Mohawk Valley today, but expect some decent snowfall and snow-covered roads by the end of the day through tonight. In some spots, especially in northwestern Oneida County, you're going to see a whole lot more, especially up near Camden, Florence, Lee, those spots that usually see the most lake effect these times of year. But either way, this is a live look in Oswego County where you can't really see a lot. That camera is completely buried in some of that snow up in Tug Hill. Downtown Utica, different story though. Roads are generally clear, a few snowy spots here and there, so budget a little bit extra time heading out to work today. But there's no at least additional snowfall that will impact your morning commute, at least until later on in the day today. On top of budgeting some extra time, you're also going to want to make sure you bundle up. Wind chills are near zero this morning, 5 in Rome, 4 Watertown, and in Johnstown. And today, well, temperatures on paper climb into the low 20s, allowing the snowfall today to become a bit less sandy in texture and more of a typical lake effect snow. Either way, we have a forecast for that. Plus, if you're a ski lover or a snowboard lover, we have a forecast for heading out to the slopes this weekend. Straight ahead. Steve?
All right, thanks, Eric. And don't forget, the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away. Well, new this morning, the new year.
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back to Sunrise on this Friday morning. Happy January 2nd. Something to share with you guys today. Obviously, we enter the weekend here with a lot of snow on the ground. And for those of you who are big skiers or snowboarders, here is the latest base snow depth report by Ski NY here. As you can see here, a lot of spots here, very healthy snow bases, picking up even more snow both yesterday and including today into the weekend. Even local spots like Woods Valley and McCully Mountain with over a foot of snow minimum at these snow depths here, approaching 24 to 30 inches. So this is one of those winters where if you haven't skied in a while, you're just itching to go back out on the slopes again. I mean, this is a great winter for it, and it's already a healthy snow base step this early in the season. So, our photo of the day today, also showcasing some snowy conditions here. These are of some birds here that are enjoying the winter season, or at least braving the winter season, sent in Florence by Beth Ann. So amazing photo right here of two bright cardinals there at the bird feeder. If you have a photo like this you'd like to send to us, send to WKTV.com/weather/pics. Steve?
All right, Eric, thanks. Well, the U.S. is no longer placing.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. Happy New Year. On this Friday, we are tracking some more lake effect snow. It's a pretty quiet start early today, but at least in the Mohawk Valley. But that'll change as that snow band sweeps south throughout the morning and afternoon. A live look at downtown Utica right now. Roads generally clear. Obviously, there are some snowy spots here and there, so budget a little bit extra time. But either way, should have no major impacts traveling early today, with the exception of those of you as you head up north, or at least in northwestern Oneida County, Lewis County, even in sections of Oswego County, where some of that heavy snow is taking place here. And as you can see here, the general trend, that snow band is slowly shifting south throughout the morning and again into the early afternoon. So what we're tracking today is a multi-lake lake effect setup here. Now the winds are not as strong as what we saw earlier in the week, which of course means that because of that, the lake effect bands will not be as strong, or at least will not intensify that far to the east. So this is more of a localized event here, not a multi-band event. Either way, the snow band will weaken, it'll end, and we're going to see some widespread snow Saturday night into Sunday. So this will be more on the lighter side, though, and in fact, not seeing any very high concerns with that one. So today, early this morning, there's that lake effect snow falling for much of central New York as it moves into the Mohawk Valley. Those of you south of Route 20, you might not see a whole lot of snow today, if that or anything at all. Even some sunshine, though. That snow band mainly localized in the Thruway corridor, in fact, maybe just north of it. But then that snow will intensify this evening, overnight, and then weaken as we head into early Saturday morning. Throughout Saturday itself, that snow gradually again weakens, and by the evening it's generally quiet. Then that widespread snow kicks in overnight into early Sunday morning, and this will produce maybe 1 inch to 3 inches of light accumulation over the span of the overnight hours. So not very high snowfall rates, and not that very highly impactful. This is our map of additional snowfall today. As you can see here, 15 inches or so in that pink area just outside Camden, 10 to 15 in the red zones here in northwestern Oneida County, 5 to 10 including Utica and Rome. This is again spanning this morning through Saturday morning, and then 2 to 5 inches heading out toward Little Falls, and a major cutoff as you head farther south. Following that, Saturday night into Sunday, this is the general idea of snowfall you can see here. Not a whole lot of snow, as I mentioned, traced to maybe 3 inches at best. 7-day forecast as we head into the weekend. Still, we have some light snow to track, but following that, we're going to see a slight warm-up Tuesday and Wednesday, going into the mid to upper 30s, back to finally some thawing. We'll be right back.
The news with Steve McMurray and meteorologist Eric Gage.
And come on over here. There we go. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I'm Steve McMurray. Apparently, camera 2 there stayed up too late on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, apparently, to get focused.
He's still waking up.
There you go. Y'all set now? All right, cool. I'm Steve McMurray, in for Gary, who is off this Friday in the first show of 2026. Eric's here, though.
Yeah, as usual. But either way, what is pretty usual, too, is that snowfall, lake effect. We're back with it again for the new year. So it's not a new year, and Mother Nature forgets what snow is. So
Exactly. No calendar for her. It's just snow, snow, snow.
Well, here we are. Let's take a look at what's going on outside right now. A live look at the Yorkville Battery live radar. And as you can see here, that snow band I've been mentioning is going to slowly shift its way south, is doing so right now. And it's starting to show some strengthening there as you head out toward northwestern Enna County, eventually in Rome, where some of you in the Rome area might already start to be seeing some of that snow a bit heavier in nature. Not as heavy, though, as Oswego, which is getting slammed right now with some intense snow. But either way, we zoom in. This is the main effects of the heavy snow today north of Oneida Lake for the most part, and then generally north of the thruway. But either way, some intense snow. In fact, this is a scene of Redfield in Oswego County, where, in fact, there's even more snow. In fact, if you didn't think there was enough snow, if you saw us at the 5 o'clock hour, that has even covered the camera entirely. Only a very narrow sliver of snow left there that hasn't been falling yet. Either way, downtown Utica, it's a quieter morning. If you're heading outside early today and you're in the Utica area or in the Mohawk Valley or south, you should expect maybe a few areas of snow-covered roads. Either way, main roads are treated and dry. But either way, just budget maybe a few extra minutes for that. But bundle up, though. We're in the single-digit wind chills right now. Very cold start to your day today. And today's highs will climb into the low 20s after a chilly starts with, as you can see here, a pretty snowy afternoon, mainly in the Mohawk Valley. We'll dive into the snowfall totals and impacts throughout the day coming up in that full forecast. Steve?
All right, Eric, thanks. And don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away. A Morris man has...
Welcome back to this Friday in 2026. Already the new year now, but pretty much same story when it comes to lake effect snow. We have a look at what you can expect, though, heading out in your forecast in a minute. First off, current conditions in Rome right now, light snow, 13 degrees of temperature. Excuse me, and a 5-mile-per-hour wind. Feels like 5 degrees out early today, so still a very chilly morning out there. And roadways, generally speaking, as you head into the Mohawk Valley and south, are clear. We do have some snowy spots here and there due to the temperature. But either way, you head up north, there's some snow-covered roads. That lake effect has still been falling. And there's more lake effect as we head throughout the morning here today as well. Let's take a look right here at the Mesonet camera network. Notice to the south, relatively quiet, snow falling in a pretty good clip right here. Camden getting slammed with some heavy snow right now. And of course, you can see right here some slowdowns heading up toward Camden there. Other than that, roadways, a few minor slowdowns, generally clear. Today's highs on paper climb into the 20s. Wind chills obviously much cooler. But we're going to have a look at that lake effect snowfall map, who sees the brunt of this event here, and what we can expect snow-wise heading into the weekend straight ahead. Steve?
All right, Eric, thanks. If you were watching the...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Happy New Year, everybody. It is now January 2nd of 2026, and boy, has 2025 flown by. Now, we start the new year with some lake effect snow. Now, much of this fell in the Tug Hill area overnight, and now we're going to start to see our fair share of it, although not nearly as intense as, say, some of those higher elevations way up in the Tug Hill Plateau. Either way, a look at the Yorkville Battery live radar. Here is that snow right now. We zoom in here, and we can see that snow starting to strengthen over the Rome area, heading up just south of Camden. and of course heading toward Parrish in Oswego is where that snow is extremely intense. But of course, nonetheless, this heavy snow will continue for much of the Oswego County area today, and snow regardless taking place in the Mohawk Valley for, again, much of the day. So, bigger picture shows that multi-lake connection here. We have Lake Superior, a very narrow sliver of Lake Michigan, yes, a very narrow portion of that. We have Huron and, of course, Ontario. So this multi-lake connection providing us with that steady lake effect snow today, the winds favoring it as well. Then the lake effect will weaken. You can see here we're going to track some widespread light snow Saturday night into Sunday. Not highly impactful, just producing a light dusting to a couple of inches across the area. But either way, let's zoom in here in the SkyCast. There's the snow this morning. It is slowly shifting south over the thruway corridor by 11 to noon time. And then as we head throughout the evening hours, it begins to strengthen ever so slightly here over the thruway. Mainly slightly north of the thruway, though, is our anticipation here. But it could wobble north and south. That's just the general thought process of lake effect snow. It's never always consistent. There will always be variations. But generally speaking, that's our thoughts of what will happen. The snow will weaken early Saturday morning, and then as we head into Saturday evening, it looks pretty quiet before you can see here widespread snow moves in Saturday night into Sunday, and we'll see, generally speaking, a couple of inches, which we'll show here in a second. First off, here is that snowfall forecast for today. Camden area, around the 15-inch mark here, and of course, astronomically more snowfall heading out toward Oswego. Then 10 to 15 inches. In the red zone here, just outside of Rome, 5 to 10 inches, including Rome and Utica, 2 to 5 inches in the light blue zones in Little Falls, and of course, a whole lot less as you head farther south. And then, of course, that snowfall expected Saturday night into Sunday. You can see here, not a whole lot, 1 to 3 inches for the most part, just enough to coat the roads and whatnot before you head out early Sunday. Either way, following that, we have a chance of a thaw. By middle of next week, a warm-up in the mid-30s, so this could be some opportunity for that snow to melt, which, again, didn't take place last year, which is why we had so many snow issues. So if we see thaws, listen, I know some of you snow lovers, you don't want to see thaws, but you need them every now and again so you don't have 6 feet of snow on your roof.
Absolutely, and the bases, as far as the snowmobile trails and the ski trails, should be steady
healthy,
or thick enough to handle any type of thaw either. So that's good news for everybody. All right, thanks a lot, Eric. Well, if today is your birthday, happy birthday. Let's take a look at the list.
Go. You need to know. Will they need a jacket? An umbrella? What should your kids wear to school tomorrow? Get the bus stop forecast only from Storm Tracker 2. Brought to you by Utica National Insurance Group.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for joining us this half hour. I'm Steve McMurray in for Gary. We're going to begin the half hour with a check of the forecast, which, even though it's a new year, same old story, includes some snow. For that, let's head over to meteorologist Eric Gage, who joins us from the Weather Center. And here we go again. Lake effect is the name of the game today.
Yeah, that's right. More lake effect snow today, and it's pretty much going to be consistently over the Mohawk Valley for much of the late morning through the entire day today. Let's take a look at where the radar is bringing that snowfall, or at least where the lakes are pushing, or at least the wind's pushing that snowfall, and it's mainly starting to shift now into Oswego County and now entering northwestern Oneida County. And there's a sharp cutoff as we head into the Mohawk Valley today. And this is one of those reminders when it comes to lake effect snow, where when we see these types of events, there's slight variabilities in the wind speeds and directions that play a major role in whether you see a couple inches or a foot of snow. So just keep in mind, it is an incredibly challenging task here, but of course we're tackling it. We're Central New Yorkers, we're used to this type of stuff here. That lake effect snow is pushing into the valley, and we're going to see some snowy conditions for much of the day today. In fact, one of the spots that saw a good amount of snow was Redfield in Oswego County, in the heart of the snowfall around the Tug Hill area. But again, here in the Mohawk Valley, it is generally quiet with some light snow as you head out toward Rome. Either way, it is a cold start today. Wind chills have increased a little bit. It was at 5 this morning in Rome, now at 14 degrees. -7 wind chill in Johnstown, however, so it's largely dependent on where you are. Either way, temperatures on paper climb into the 20s, allowing this sandy type snow this morning to turn a bit more characteristic of typical snowfall. But as we head throughout the day today, that snow continues on. We have more snow chances this weekend, too. We'll dive into all that coming up in that full forecast. Steve?
All right, Eric, thanks. New this morning, the new year starts with...
Welcome back to Sunrise on this January 2nd. We're almost to the weekend already of the first weekend of 2026. And with that in mind, those of you skiers, snowboarders, fans of winter sports, here's a look at the latest ski report for base snow depth in a lot of local ski resorts here, both in the Adirondacks and in central New York. A couple to mention here: Woods Valley, McCully Mountain, Snow Ridge, all very healthy snow depths. I mean, Gore Mountain, the lowest minimum snow depth of 6 inches, but either way, the rest of them over a foot minimum, as high as 24 to 32 inches. So extremely healthy snow-based depths, base snow depths here across the area. And so if you have any plans or just itching to go out on the slopes, this is a great weekend to do it. Temperatures remain below freezing, but not that far below freezing for much of the weekend. So today's photo of the day takes us to a great scene here in, well, let's go back here. A great scene, and here it is, in Florence, of some Cardinals there braving the winter storm here, sent in by Beth Ann. So if you have an amazing photo like this one you'd like to share with us, showcasing the snowy scene in your neck of the woods, send to WKTV.com/weather/pics. Photo of the day every morning brought to you by GPO Federal Credit Union. Steve?
All right, thanks a lot, Eric. Well, the U.S. is no longer...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. Happy New Year. On this 2nd of January, we are tracking yet again more lake effect snow. And this time, this snow band starts north and sweeps south into the Mohawk Valley. A live look of downtown Utica early this morning. So far, a pretty quiet start to your day today, but again, that's going to change once this snow really starts to work its way in, mainly coming off of, again, Lake Ontario. So pretty consistent snow falling in Camden right now, and of course heading into the Rome area as we speak. So bigger picture shows this general northwestern flow of winds, which are producing this multi-lake connection. Either way, this is going to produce some consistent snow in the Mohawk Valley pretty much the entire day today, weakening overnight, and there's more light snow as we head into Saturday night into Sunday. We'll talk about that, but I'm not worried too much about this system. It's very light and relatively unimpactful, aside from maybe a couple of inches of snow. More importantly is the lake effect snow we're seeing today. So our Skycast is showing that snow band sweeping south into the Mohawk Valley. Generally speaking, much of the highest impacts will be in this zone right here, which I'll show the snowfall map here in a second. Either way, there could be some reduced visibility as this band moves into the Mohawk Valley, the thruway corridor, wobbling north and south a little bit and then shifting its way north and weakening as we head into early Saturday morning. Then following that, it quiets down throughout Saturday with some of that light snow arriving from a Clipper system Saturday night into Sunday. And that, of course, will produce a couple of inches of snow here and there. Well, let's focus more on this snowfall map here. So this is our thoughts of the snow event today. Now, keep in mind, see these ranges going from 5 inches or so. We had to use some of these because of the large range. In fact, you head out toward Oswego, some of these spots out here could see over 2 feet, maybe even more. So there's a huge, huge drop-off in snowfall totals. I want to clarify something here when it comes to these ranges. You see here 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 inches or more. Think of this as a scale. The closer you are from that 5, like for example, this is 5 to 10. If you're closer to this light blue, you're probably closer to 5 inches. If you're in the light blue, closer to the gray, you're probably closer to 2 inches. If you are in this blue zone, closer to red, you're probably leaning closer to 10 inches. It's a general scale that we kind of use to simplify the snowfall forecast instead of throwing guys a bunch of numbers here. But generally speaking, as an example, Utica would be closer to the 5-inch range compared to the 10-inch range. On top of that, we have some more light snow as we head into the weekend from that Clipper system Saturday night into Sunday. But again, not a whole lot of snow is expected there. 7-day forecast, we have some light snow again in the weekend hours. Either way, we're in the 20s. Great weather for winter sports. Snowmobiling, skiing, snowboarding. Take advantage of the fact that, besides last year, years before that, there was barely any snow for that.
Yeah, so a lot of snowmobilers upset with the last few seasons, so hopefully they get
enjoy it this year.
Absolutely. All right, thanks a lot, Eric. Well, in case you were asleep,
McMurray and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us this noontime on a Friday, January 2nd. I'm Steve McMurray in for Gary.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And we were talking lake effect snow. It seems to be the broken record, going on a lot. Closer you are to the lake, the more you're getting. We'll talk about snowmobiles in a couple minutes, so those folks are very excited about what's going on. What are we looking at?
So right now, the band is trending a little more south, and the reason for it is pretty interesting. Let's take a look right here at the radar. So I was mentioning today that snow band would move south, impacting the Mohawk Valley, and it sure did. Then it just continued moving south, and now it's impacting mainly locations in the Route 20 corridor here in the border of Madison and Oneida County. Now, don't get me wrong, there is still snow falling in the Mohawk Valley. We saw it on a tower cam, which I'll show you in a second. But the interesting part of this setup here, compared to what we saw earlier in the week, the winds play a very important key role here. And you notice here the snow doesn't really appear to be one uniform line. See those little clusters here and there? That's what happens when the wind is a lot weaker near the surface compared to a consistent wind from the west that would strengthen it and slide it through the Mohawk Valley out toward Albany. Either way, we're still going to see this band kind of inch its way back up into the Mohawk Valley, at least the strongest part of it. We can see some of it starting to form right now, a live look from our tower cam overlooking Utica, which visibility a bit difficult to see right there, but as we zoom in to Utica itself, again, we got some light snow, but again, these bands are still on the thinner side so far early this afternoon. Temperatures haven't really climbed that much as expected. Wind chills remaining in the single digits to low teens, and as we head throughout the day today, we'll see those high temperatures remain roughly in the upper teens, low 20s on paper. But as we head into tonight, we're going to see that lake effect continue. It won't really wind down until early Saturday morning, but then we have some of the light snow on the way. We'll dive into that forecast coming up in a few minutes. Steve?
Eric, thanks. National Grid has some advice for cleaning around your home. Beware of the snow and ice buildup on your roof. That'll cause stress on electricity service wires and connections. Just be careful because clearing snow near wires does present the risk of shock. Also, keep your meters clear of snow and ice. You want to gently remove icicles. You don't want to kick the meter. And keep your vents clear. A blocked vent, whether it be furnace, hot water heater, dryer, or sewer, can lead to buildup of carbon monoxide, which can be deadly. Well, the new year started the same way as the old one, with relentless winter weather from coast to coast. We're not alone. All as people scrambled to get home after the holidays. NBC's Maggie Vespa has more from Chicago's O'Hare International Airport.
This morning, from whiteouts and wrecked semis in the east to swiftwater rescues out west, 2026 off to a volatile start. Authorities in Orange County confirming one person was killed after days of rain sparked flash floods across Southern California.
What is bro doing?
Drivers in San Diego caught off guard. Firefighters confirming they pulled a man and toddler from this vehicle while first responders paddled another man to safety. San Diego Fire clocking close to a dozen rescues.
We're soaked to the bone. These jeans are a very different color.
A massive downpour at Pasadena's annual Rose Parade, rare for the iconic event, as Al pointed out from the parade route.
For the first time in 20 years, as you can see, it is literally raining on our parade.
And in the Rose Bowl Stadium, staff attempting to clear the water. The rain sparking fears of more mudslides, with some areas still cleaning up from last week's devastating storms.
Ooh, he's deep in it there. It's up to his bumper.
Meanwhile, across the Northeast and Great Lakes region, relentless snow.
And it just started coming down like bananas again.
In Buffalo, the Bills asking fans to help shovel out the stadium ahead of Sunday's game after the area was hit with nearly a foot of snow. The winter weather snarling the tail end of a record holiday travel season, and in icy Philadelphia, 3 people hospitalized after this crash. AAA predicting a historic 122 million Americans traveled 50 miles or more over the stretch, most of them driving, dealing with slippery road conditions all week. And at America's airports, delays and cancellations soaring into the thousands for days on end.
And that was NBC's Maggie Vespa reporting. Back here at home, a man from Morris now.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everybody. Today, still tracking some lake effect snow, and the latest details right here. Let's take a look at the radar and satellite and see how things are shaping up, both downwind and here locally. And so far, there is consistency with the downwind lake influence here. We have the Georgian Bay and Lake Huron, as well as Lake Superior, influencing our lake effect today. The only drawback, or at least the only thing influencing the lower end or preventing heavy snow, is the variable winds near the surface here locally. Everything is setting up. It is one of those domino effect type scenarios where you have everything go right, and there's one thing that is slightly off, and it could change the outcome of the forecast. Not by much, though. We're not anticipating a sharp change in the forecast here. Some of that snow has shifted to our south, but overall, we're expecting this band to somewhat reorganize again, especially as it heads over Oneida Lake and back to the north side of Oneida Lake. That's our thoughts for today. But again, if you live in the hills south of the Mohawk Valley, the snowfall this morning has produced some, I would say, more on the slick-sided conditions here, especially along Route 5 and, of course, heading to the hills of Route 12, sections of Route 20 and Route 12B, and, of course, all the neighboring roads up there as you head up toward Clay and Syracuse, north of Syracuse, I should say. But either way, we're seeing this band somewhat wobble a little bit to the north again as we head into the evening hours, and then weaken a little bit as we head overnight, with temperatures falling somewhat. But the main thing as we head into Sunday, or at least Saturday night to Sunday, is that widespread light snow we're expecting from a light clipper overnight. Again, not major snowfall, but enough to coat the ground. So again, this is that snow band earlier this morning. It has shifted south, and now it's expected to roughly hover over the Mohawk Valley for much of the afternoon and evening hours. Then by tonight, it still hovers generally in that vicinity. It weakens, shifts its way north one final time, and then fizzles out as we head into Saturday. Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening looking pretty quiet. But then by Saturday night, we have that light snow moving in. This is one of those typical wintertime systems. Nothing regarding any major impacts, but you might have a couple of inches of fluffy snow on your car or on your sidewalk or driveway as you wake up early Sunday morning. So in regards to additional snow, this is for the time frame between now through 7 a.m. Saturday. Based off the fact that snow band has finally shifted its way south, we're isolating this band a lot more focused in the Mohawk Valley here, mainly the Utica-Rome area. I'm going to likely decrease that here maybe to the 4 to 7 inch range, maybe closer to 4 to 8 inches here. Just changing the numbers a little bit briefly. And then, of course, I would say maybe closer to 10 to 15 out in the red zone. Either way, this is a somewhat of a variable system here. Now, what is pretty consistent as we head into Sunday, following Saturday night snow system here, we've got maybe a couple of inches, 1 to 3 inches, if that. Nothing really major there for the weekend. In fact, very nice weather for any plans for winter activities pretty much Saturday and Sunday. And I have a preview of the latest snow depths from some local ski resorts, as well as some conditions for any events this weekend as well. So stay tuned for updates on that.
All right, looks good. The snow is here to stay for a little while. A little bit of a thaw, which we'll tell you what's a good thing, too. Right?
Yeah.
Fill you in on that. Well, around 40 in this half hour, meteorologist Eric Gage joins us now, and the lake effect machine just keeps on churning.
Yes, and I know for some of you, you might be getting sick of it, but for snow lovers,
Yeah, this is
different
good stuff.
story. Great, especially for some businesses too that have to deal with the
Oh, yeah,
snow.
no question. They deserve it.
Yeah, and let's take a look at some of these ski resorts here. A couple of local ones, a couple they might have to drive a couple of hours to get to, but either way, these are some pretty healthy snow depths, especially for January 2nd. Now, yes, we are now entering the early part of wintertime here, but still, we have some pretty nice depths here. Even the lowest one, Gore Mountain, 6 inches minimum, up to 24 inches in some spots as well. Even Woods Valley here locally, 16 inches to 30 inches, and McCully Mountain, 18 to 24 inches there. So great news along that front. Yorkville Battery Live radar, we're still tracking that southward trend of the lake effect right now, but that is expected to shift its way north as we head throughout the next, say, couple of hours. It began that southward trend, but now it's slowly starting to shift its way back to where we were expecting it, which would be in the Mohawk Valley. Again, variable winds right now are producing that type of scenario here. So live look from our tower cam, we have that snow band moving through the Mohawk Valley. You can barely see the city of Utica here from our vantage point here on Smith Hill and Deerfield. And downtown Utica, again, depends on where you are. Pretty quiet, or you got some snow falling right now. Either way, all of us experiencing the cold temperatures. We are in the teens and single digits for those wind chills for a lot of spots here. And then for today, remaining on the colder side. Tonight, we're going to see that snow continue on, especially in the Mohawk Valley. It's going to end, and then we're going to see another chance of snowfall Saturday night into Sunday. We'll have the details on the impacts for that, as well as your all-important weekend forecast straight ahead. Steve?
All right, thanks a lot, Eric. A new year means new...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everybody. Happy New Year. Well, it's already the 2nd of January, and so far, we're still doing the similar story of lake effect. Let's take a look at the radar and satellite here, because we are still tracking this downwind multi-lake influence that will produce that notable snowfall here in the Mohawk Valley for much of the afternoon, evening, and overnight. Yes, it has wobbled a little bit south here. That's the case that we have to deal with when we have variable winds, light winds, on a day like today. Unlike, for example, earlier in the week where we had considerably strong winds, which kind of guided the snow where it wanted to go without much difference there. Either way, we're seeing that snow pretty much start to fade away south of south of I-90 in the hills of Madison County, and kind of reorganize here in the Mohawk Valley, where we're starting to see that snow pick up right here. So again, it's going to take a little bit, but once we, in fact, I'm just seeing this live right now. The way this angle might be, you might even get some Oneida Lake influence here too. We'll have to do a quick check on exactly how frozen over Oneida Lake is right now. But either way, we are expecting some impacts to the roadways, not major ones, especially in the Utica-Rome area, but as you head up north and west outside of Oneida Lake, that's where some of that snow might be a bit difficult to drive in. But either way, bigger picture shows this multi-lake influence continuing for much of the day today through tonight and into early tomorrow, before that snow will fizzle out and we're going to see widespread snow begin to move in. This is a lighter snow system here, which will produce, again, maybe a couple of inches of snow here and there as we head throughout the day, or throughout the overnight, I should say. So our SkyCast shows that snow hovering around the Mohawk Valley this evening and tonight. We'll put out updates if it wobbles a little bit more, because again, there's no guarantee it'll exactly stay put in those locations, but we do have a good idea in terms of the amount of snow we're expecting now. We have the updates on that too. That snow will fizzle out Saturday morning through Saturday afternoon, maybe some lingering snow around noontime that'll, again, fade away. It dries up We have more light snow arriving Saturday night into Sunday. Overnight lows in the teens and 20s and climbing into the mid-20s as we head into Sunday itself. Now, overall Sunday, pretty quiet. Additional snowfall from this afternoon through Saturday morning. You can see here a sharp contrast as you head out toward Lake Ontario. 8 to 12 in the Camden area, in the red zone there. 4 to 8 in Utica, Rome. Of course, the farther away you go from the Great Lakes, the less snow you're going to see. I would say more toward the lower end in Utica right now. And then we have trace of 2 inches as you head farther out away from that snow band. And then following that, of course, Saturday night into Sunday, we have that Clipper system producing maybe 1 to 3 inches of light snow, fluffy snow across the area, which, again, won't likely impact a whole lot of travel. Maybe have some snow-covered surfaces here and there. Now, following this weekend, as I mentioned, it's a great weekend for winter sports. By next week, though, we're going to see a bit of a thaw Wednesday and Thursday. Temperatures will be in the mid to upper 30s. And yes, it's thaw. Sometimes there's thaws that happen in wintertime, but unlike last year when we saw no thaws, that was the concern. When we had all that snow and no melting, that's what caused a lot of collapses and damage. And if we get thaws here and there, that's beneficial.
Sure.
But of course, it's not enough to melt all the snow, so that's
exactly. So, all right, well, just keep an eye on it. Thanks a lot, Eric. Well, officials in
News with Ben Kinney.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Ben Kinney. Kristen and Jason are off tonight. A lake effect snow warning once again in effect for Oneida County as a band of heavy snow continues to make its way in. Meteorologist James DeFazio has been watching the radar all afternoon. Joins us from the Weather Center. And the one thing to note, Sasquatch there in Redfield on the Mesonet cam, he's almost gone.
I was just posting.
Pretty close.
He's now about 3.5 feet under, about 3.5 feet of snowpack. Tug Hill Plateau really up, getting buried at this point. We're going to continue to see very heavy snow across Oswego County and across the Tug Hill Plateau, but we are going to continue to see lighter lake effect snows continue locally in Madison, Oneida, and southern Herkimer counties. And these warnings don't expire until 7 a.m. Saturday morning. Some light snow in downtown Utica right now, although road conditions are not too terrible at this time. Your Fort Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, we can see this relatively strong lake effect band working through Oswego County into western Oneida County. It's really gotten its act together over the last hour or so. 19 degrees with light snow falling in Rome. Only a light breeze at 6 miles per hour. It's helped keeping that lake effect relatively weak. We're seeing plenty of slow goes across the region now that this lake effect band has reorganized. If you're doing any traveling, just be aware that you may have to take it a little slower than normal. Tonight, lows are going to be right around 14 degrees. These snow showers continue until tomorrow morning. Coming up, we're going to take a look at the entirety of your weekend forecast, as well as talk about something that's in the forecast that hasn't been for quite some time. Ben?
All right, James, thank you very much. National Grid has some advice for clearing snow from around your home. Beware of the snow and ice buildup on your roof. That could cause stress on electricity service wires and connection. Just be careful when clearing snow near those wires. That presents the risk of shock. Also, keep your meters clear of snow and ice. Gently remove icicles. Don't kick them. And keep your vents clear. A blocked vent, furnace, hot water heater, dryer, or even sewer can lead to a buildup of carbon monoxide. That could be extremely dangerous. Well, the final travel push of the holiday season.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist James DeFazio.
Good Friday evening. We are yet again tracking snowfall across central New York. It's primarily light for most of us. Some of the western portions of the viewing area seeing some heavier snow, but very light snow in downtown Utica. Downtown Utica has seen about 2 inches of snow since last night. That continues to fall. We're tracking a few things. We're tracking lake effect to continue this evening and tonight. We're tracking a calm start to the weekend, as well as widespread light snow Saturday night into Sunday morning. Your Fort Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar showing that lake effect band stretching all the way down south of the Capital District, down through southern Herkimer County, just barely stretching through Oneida County. Very light snow in southern Oneida County. Heavier snow back in western Oneida County, central Oswego County, where the band is much more formed. We're seeing snowfall rates of 1 to 2 inches per hour in these areas, as well as now areas, extreme western portions of northern Oneida County, starting to get in on some of the heavier snow rates. And that's going to continue for the next couple of hours. The snowfall band continues through the afternoon, through the evening, into the night, overnight, and then as the night progresses, it'll slowly lift northward and then weaken. As we head into tomorrow morning, it's a calm start to our weekend, although this area of low pressure that has been spinning in lake effects begins to dive southward tomorrow night, and it brings us a quick little clipper system. We see a quick inch to 2 of very fluffy light snow, very light accumulation as we head into Sunday morning, and then a few flurries during the day on Sunday, otherwise calm weather for the second half of our week as well. A look at the temperature trend, and I want to point out that as we head towards the middle portions of next week, we're eyeing a thaw. There is a thaw on the horizon. The Climate Prediction Center is forecasting a major warm-up for 6 to 10 days from now, from January 7th through January 11th, for almost all of the eastern seaboard. So we're going to see some substantial increase in terms of where we have been at in terms of high temperature. Snowfall map, this includes the snow that's already fallen today, 2 to 4 inches for the valley, 4 to 8 inches for Rome, 8 to 12 inches for Camden, the rest of us just a trace to 2 inches. This snowfall map is for overnight, Saturday night into Sunday morning. In general, a widespread 1 to 3 inches of snow across the region. It falls very slowly, and it's a very light, fluffy snow that falls Saturday night into Sunday morning. Tonight's snow is associated with lake effect, and that lake effect snow band slowly lifts northward, and once it does so, it will begin to weaken. And once it weakens, we'll transition to just flurries to begin our weekend. A couple of flurries during the day tomorrow with temperatures in the 20s, otherwise cloudy conditions. Widespread light snow returns tomorrow night into Sunday morning, and then just a couple of flurries continue into the day on Sunday. Tonight, snow showers continue with lows right around 14 degrees. A look at your 7-day forecast. Look at the end of our forecast period here. We have some numbers we haven't seen in quite some time. We have our January thaw looking to show up by the middle portion of next week. We climb above freezing. We get all the way up into the upper 30s on Thursday. Mostly cloudy with highs in the upper 30s on Thursday. Rain showers actually possible as we head towards next weekend.
And that's really good to see, though, because a lot of people, especially up north, were worried we were going to have a repeat of last year, where we didn't have this 46-degree thaw.
Correct. We're getting these little mini thaws in between. Even though we still have a very impressive snowpack, these slow warm-ups are very important. We also avoid flooding with these,
which is even better.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, James. Well, it's a critical part of overall health. Good evening once again. Lake effect snow once again flying over parts of the area, slowing down travel and leading to another day of cleanup. When's it going to end? Let's head over to the Weather Center. Meteorologist James DeFonzio has more.
Fortunately, it does look to come to an end very early tomorrow morning, but until tomorrow morning, we're going to continue to be tracking this lake effect band on your Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. You can see it peeking in through Oneida County. Right now, steady to light snow falling across central and southern Oneida County, heavier snow across western Oneida County. And that continues into the overnight tonight, and as we see this band continue to wobble relatively near its current location. Temperatures across the area are anywhere from the low 10s in the North Country to the high teens across the Mohawk Valley. Temperatures tonight aren't going to be overly cold. We'll see lows in the upper 10s tonight. We'll take a look at current conditions, 19 degrees with light snow falling at Griffiths and Rome, and winds are out of the west-southwest at 6 miles per hour. The fact that the winds are light has helped keeping that lake effect relatively weak. Otherwise, it would be much stronger. We've seen inconsistent winds and winds that are just simply not that strong. Again, lows tonight in the low teens, approximately 14 degrees with cloudy conditions. We're tracking a January thaw to arrive next week. We're tracking a warm-up. Take a look at what some of these high temperatures are forecast for the middle of next week. Coming up, we'll break down the weather pattern that's going to help allow us to warm up. Ben?
All right, James, thank you very much. 2 local hospitals are celebrating.
Download the Storm Tracker 2 mobile app and put the power of Storm Tracker 2 in the palm of your hand. Watch the latest forecast, hour-by-hour conditions, the latest radar this winter. Be prepared. Download the Storm Tracker 2 mobile app today. The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist James DeFazio.
Good Friday evening. We're tracking snow showers this evening, light across the city of Utica and the Mohawk Valley, a little bit steadier and heavier as you get back towards the west, as you work back towards western Oneida County. Taking a look at downtown Utica right now, just some light snow falling in front of the camera, and that's going to continue. We see some light snow similar to what we saw this morning and pick up another 1 to 3 inches in Utica. We're tracking lake effect snow to continue this evening and tonight, a calm start to our weekend, and then widespread light snow Saturday night into Sunday morning. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. We can see that this band has really gotten its act together over the last 45 minutes to an hour. Steady to heavy snow just west of Rome, the west side of Rome seeing heavier snow now. Much of Sylvan Beach, Camden seeing heavier snow, lighter snow over to Utica. This band of snow will continue to drop into Oneida County for periods of time throughout the overnight. We continue to see lake effect snow through the night tonight until tomorrow morning. When we get into tomorrow morning, that band begins to fully fall apart, and we just see a few lingering flurries during tomorrow morning. Calm day on Saturday, and then another low pressure system which has been stalled to our north drops to our south Saturday night, overnight Saturday night into Sunday morning, brings us a widespread light snow. We pick up a quick 1 to 2 inches of a very light fluffy snow, and then calm conditions with flurries return for the day on Sunday. A look at our temperature trend. We're tracking a warm up for the middle portions of next week. A thaw is in the forecast. We're tracking temperatures to finally break the freezing mark for several consecutive days, and the Climate Prediction Center believes that 6 to 10 days from now, January 7th to January 11th, will feature very above average temperatures for almost all of the Northeast. Our snowfall forecast, this includes all of what has already fallen today, 2 to 4 inches for Utica and the Mohawk Valley, 4 to 8 inches for Rome and West Utica, 8 to 12 inches within the red zone. Again, the higher amounts are going to be in the western portions of these zones, with the lighter amounts in the eastern portions of these zones. Snowfall forecast for Saturday night, overnight into Sunday. Just some light, very fluffy snow that falls very slowly. We all pick up about 1 to 2 inches of snow. At the very most, a 3-inch total or 2 across the southern hills is possible. Otherwise, calm conditions settle back in. Tonight, we're tracking that lake effect snow. Lake effect snow warnings remain in place until 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. By then, the band will have lifted northward and will completely weaken by then and completely fall apart. Just a few flurries lingering into Saturday morning. A chilly start to the weekend with temperatures in the teens. We warm up tomorrow into the low 20s with calm conditions. It's a great day to get out and enjoy winter activities if you're interested in doing so. As we head towards Sunday, again, that widespread light snow develops overnight. We all pick up a light accumulation. And then calm conditions return for the second half of Sunday. Just a few flurries during Sunday afternoon, otherwise calm conditions. Tonight, though, we're tracking those snow showers. Lows are going to be right around 14 degrees. Lake effect snow warnings are in place until 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. A look at your 7-day forecast. After a few more wintry days, but however, the worst of the wintry days being tonight, we're tracking improving conditions and a general warming trend. As we head towards the middle portions of next week, we climb above freezing. Chance for some rain showers with temperatures into the 40s by next Friday.
With Ben Kinney.
Good evening, I'm Ben Kinney. Kristen and Jason are off tonight. Well, no surprise, it's once again snowing in central New York, and no surprise, it's once again from lake effect snow. When is it all going to stop? Meteorologist James DeFazio is tracking the latest from the Weather Center. What's the answer, James?
Tomorrow morning. That's
okay.
When things calm down. We have winter weather advisories as well as lake effect snow warnings in place until 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, and then things calm down. We'll begin to see just flurries. But until then, we're going to have pesky lake effect snow across central Oneida County for most of the overnight. Light snow continues to fall in downtown Utica. Some steadier snow just to the south of Utica right now. We can see on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar this band has really gotten its act together over the last hour or two. It's dropping into the Mohawk Valley now as well. Utica, Rome, all of Herkimer, Ilion seeing light snow at this time, and that continues into the overnight tonight. 20 degrees with light snow, just a light breeze out of the west at 3 miles per hour. The traffic tracker showing many of slowdowns. If you're doing any traveling tonight, just be aware that you're going to need to give yourself some extra time to get to your location. Roads are a little slick right now. Temperatures tonight are going to be lows tonight are going to be right around 14 degrees, so snow showers continue into the overnight. Coming up, we're going to have the entirety of your weekend forecast, as well as talk about something that hasn't been in the forecast for quite some time. Ben?
All right, James, thank you very much. National Grid has some advice for clearing around your home. Beware of the snow and ice buildup on your roof. That could cause stress on electricity service wires and connections. Just be careful when clearing snow near those wires. You could get shocked. Also, keep your meters clear of snow and ice. Gently remove icicles. Don't kick it. And keep your vents clear. A blocked vent for your furnace, hot water heater, or dryer, even sewer, can lead to a buildup of carbon monoxide. New tonight, a Verona man.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist James DeFazio.
Good Friday evening. We're yet again tracking lake effect snowfall. It's relatively light in the city of Utica. However, it's quite heavy back to the west. As we get back to western portions of Oneida County, those snowfall rates increase quite a bit. Downtown Utica, light snow, and light snow will continue. Downtown Utica's picked up about 2.5 inches of snow today. They'll continue to pick up very, very light accumulations. Lake effect snow continues this evening and tonight. It's a calm start to the weekend. That lake effect band comes to an end early tomorrow morning. And then widespread snow redevelops Saturday night into the day on Sunday. We all pick up a quick inch to 2 of light, fluffy snow. This lake effect band has really gotten its act together over the last hour or two. We're now seeing light snow extend through Utica into the Mohawk Valley, steadier snow back from Rome towards Camden, back into Oswego County, and this is going to continue into the overnight tonight. Some of the heavier snow back to the west. These areas have been seeing the steady snow for the entirety of the day today and are really seeing some really tricky travel conditions. Taking a look at the bigger picture, you can see that lake effect band continues into the overnight tonight. It lifts northward as the night progresses and weakens as it does so, completely fizzles out tomorrow morning. This next area of low pressure, which has been stalled to our north, drops southward. It's a clipper system. We see a quick burst of snow tomorrow night. It's very light in nature, and it doesn't last for very long, but we all pick up a very quick, light accumulation. And then most of Sunday is calm, just a couple of flurries during Sunday afternoon in between calm conditions. We're also tracking a warm-up. Our January thaw looks to finally be on the horizon. As we head towards the middle portion of next week, temperatures climb into the mid to upper 30s. And that's going to continue, it looks like. The Climate Prediction Center is forecasting above average temperatures for all of 6 to 10 days out, as well as 8 to 14 days out. This map particularly depicting January 7th through January 11th. Very above average temperatures likely for most of the lower 48. Taking a look at our snowfall forecast, this includes the snow that's fallen today. The area is farthest away, a trace to 2 inches. 2 to 4 inches for the Mohawk Valley, 4 to 8 inches for Utica and Rome. Again, the higher totals in the western portions of these zones. 8 to 12 inches for Camden, 12 inches or more closer as you get closer back to Lake Ontario. This snowfall map depicts the snow that arrives late Saturday night and falls overnight Saturday night into Sunday morning. Just a widespread 1 to 3 inches. Most of us pick up about 1 to 2 inches of snow overnight. Just a very light accumulation of very fluffy snow. Tonight we have to deal with that late lake effect. This lake effect snow warning continues until 8 a.m. tomorrow. Then it comes to an end. Just a few flurries during the daytime tomorrow with temperatures rising into the low 20s. Otherwise, just cloudy conditions tomorrow. As we head into the overnight, that widespread snow arrives with that clipper system. We pick up a quick, fluffy inch of snow, and then calmer conditions arrive for the day on Sunday. Tonight, those snow showers continue. That lake effect snow band continues to work across central New York for the entirety of the night tonight. Lows around 14 degrees with snow showers. A look at your 7-day forecast. We're tracking, again, a round of snow Saturday night into Sunday, but the daytime on Saturday and Sunday looks primarily calm. Some very light snow again on Monday, calm conditions Tuesday, some very light rain-snow mix Wednesday morning, but then our thaw begins to arrive as we head into Thursday. Looks very, very nice Thursday. Maybe break out the shorts, 38 degrees.
A little bit of a stretch there, but okay.
I mean, I'm ready for it. I'm ready for upper 30s. It's going to feel really warm.
No, you know what I'm ready for? I'm ready for 70s. That's what I'm ready for.
It's going to feel really warm.
I'm over this winter, and we're 2 weeks officially into winter.
I'm with you.
Feels like an eternity. All right. Thank you very much, James. Still to come on this channel.
You're all just James Afazio.
Continuing to track snowfall, even at this hour, we still are seeing lake effect snow coming down off of Lake Ontario. Northwest winds bringing lake effect snow into central New York. Light snow continues to fall in downtown Utica. It's been a very snowy evening in downtown Utica. We've picked up a couple more inches of snow. We just keep adding on, just keep on tacking on to our total. Yorkville Battery Snow Tracker 2 live radar. You can see that the band has lifted a little bit farther north than it was earlier tonight and weakened a little bit, but still blasting portions of western Oneida County. We continue to track these snowy conditions. 20 degrees with light snow at Grifferson Rome, a 12-mile-per-hour breeze out of the west, making for chilly conditions. Traffic tracker showing that there are some slow goes, but not too many issues, not as many as we saw earlier tonight. So things have improved from where they are, but if you're heading out, give yourself some extra time. Lows tonight are going to be right around 14 degrees, and snow showers intermittently continue. Coming up, we're going to break down the entirety of your weekend forecast. Nolan?
James, thank you. And with all that snow, Snowmobile Trail.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Good Friday evening. We continue to track lake effect snow showers this evening, and they're going to continue into the overnight. They've lightened up a little bit, but we've picked up a couple of inches in downtown Utica, a couple more, and we just continue to seem to just find ways to tack on day after day. Lake effect continues tonight. We continue to see light snow across central Oneida County. It's a calm start to the weekend. Lake effect subsides by tomorrow morning, and then widespread light snow returns Saturday night into Sunday. And that brings us a very light accumulation. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. That lake effect band continuing to stretch into Oneida County and then down into the Mohawk Valley. It is rather weak at this time compared to how strong it was a couple of hours ago. It really did strengthen for a couple of hours and has since lifted a little bit farther north than where it was. Still northwest of Rome, still seeing some steady snow. Lake effect continues tonight into the night overnight, and then as we head towards tomorrow morning, it begins to completely fall apart. Gives us a relatively calm day, Saturday, good day to get out and enjoy any outdoor activities. Just a couple of flurries with calm temperatures. As we head towards tomorrow night, that area of low pressure dives southward, and we see some widespread snow develop across central New York. Widespread snow develops Saturday night into Sunday morning. We pick up a quick fluffy inch or two of accumulation, and then calmer conditions settle in Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening. Taking a look at our temperature trend, we're tracking a warm-up. As we head into the middle portions of next week, we're going to climb into the mid-30s. We're tracking and find what it's finally going to be a January thaw. A very much needed, much overdue January thaw. It looks like 6 to 10 days from now, the Climate Prediction Center says we are very favorable to see above average temperatures, and it does look that we are entering that pattern. It looks like we're going to be entering a warming pattern. This is our total snowfall map. So this includes the snow that's already fallen. This is not additional. This is total snow. Additional snow, just a trace to an inch, possibly another inch or two in the areas in the western zones of that snowfall map. On this snowfall map, this is for tomorrow night, overnight. In general, a widespread 1 to 2 inches of snow across central New York. Tonight, that lake effect band stays relatively where it is across central Oneida County. It sits relatively stable and weakens and falls apart tomorrow morning. Calm weather tomorrow with highs in the low 20s. Tonight, snow showers continue for a few more hours with lows around 14 degrees. A look at your 7-day forecast. A couple more wintry days before we finally begin to warm up. After a very chilly night, Sunday night into Monday, a few snow showers on Monday, a calm day Tuesday. We climb above freezing, and all the way up into the upper 30s Wednesday and Thursday, all the way into the 40s on Friday with showers.
Now for a first look at the forecast with James DeFazio.
Continuing to track snowfall, light snowfall, thankfully, and we have warnings in place because we saw a good amount of snow in total by the time we've added things up. It's been snowing now for about 18 hours. Some of us have seen some substantial totals, especially across western and northwestern Oneida County. These warnings continue until 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, and then they will expire as calmer weather arrives. Some light snow continuing to fall in downtown Utica. There's that lake effect snow band right through Oswego County into northwest Oneida County. Camden continuing to see relatively heavy snow. 19 degrees with light snow falling at Griffiths and Rome, a west breeze at 8 miles per hour, a light wind. Road conditions have improved. We've seen a couple of accidents. That's a new one that just popped up, looks like on the thruway. I'll have to check that one out. So if you're heading out, just be aware that roads aren't perfect. Conditions aren't great, but they're not horrific either. Lows tonight are going to be around 14 degrees as snow showers continue. We're tracking beautiful weather for the remainder of the weekend, and I'll have the details on the entirety of your weekend forecast coming right up. Nolan?
James, thank you. And with all that snow,
the WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist James DeFazio.
Good Friday evening. We continue to track light snowfall across the city of Utica, and we're seeing enough snowfall that it is occasionally coating the ground and coating the surfaces. It's a very light, very fluffy snow, very airy snow you can almost blow off of the roof of your car. But this very light, fluffy snow is going to continue for a few more hours, continues through the overnight tonight, and lessens as we head into the morning. It's a calm start to the weekend, a calm start to our Saturday, and then widespread snow arrives Saturday night into Sunday morning. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. There is that lake effect snow band working through Oswego County, down into western Oneida County, and then down into the Mohawk Valley. Lighter snowfall continuing down towards the Mohawk Valley. We're going to continue to see the snow lift a little bit northward as the night progresses. Otherwise, the snow pretty much stays right about where it's at. Areas that are seeing snow continue to see light snow for a few more hours, and then this lake effect band continues, or I should say will finally come to an end before tomorrow morning, right before daybreak. Just a couple of flurries by tomorrow morning, calm weather during the day tomorrow, and then we're tracking a clipper system to arrive tomorrow night. It's a weak clipper system, and it brings us a quick shot of very light, fluffy snow, similar to tonight, a quick 1 to 2 inches of very light, fluffy snow. And then by Sunday morning, that is out of here, and calm conditions have returned. A look at temperature trend after several more days of wintry weather. As we head into middle portions of next week, we're tracking a warm-up. Our January thaw looks to finally arrive. Taking a look at the Climate Prediction Center's 6 to 10 day temperature outlook for January 7th to January 11th, the 8 to 14 day outlook as well. Both the 6 to 10 and 8 to 14 day outlooks favoring above average temperatures. Our snowfall map for tonight, this includes total snowfall. That includes all the snow that's fallen today. 2 to 4, 4 to 8, and then 8 to 12 for northwest Oneida County. The snowfall that we expect to receive tomorrow night is going to be very light, very fluffy, only about 1 to 2 inches widespread. As we head into tonight, that lake effect band lifts northward and fully weakens, comes to an end, and temperatures settle in the teens. Right, tomorrow morning, lows right around 14 degrees. Snow showers continue. A look at your 7-day forecast. We're tracking our January thaw after a couple more wintry days. A January thaw arrives, and it comes at a time when we really need it. We've been, in a very extended period of wintry weather, and we really could use a minor meltdown. We are going to get this thaw, and it's not going to be a major warm up. We're not going to see a major meltdown of snow, but we're going to lose enough snow that it's beneficial.
Honestly, I mean, I guess at least it's fluffy, right? Like it's not that heavy snow.
No, it's that very fluffy snow that you could blow it with an air, like with a leaf blower. Yeah.
All right, James, thank you. Coming up next.